All right. Well, welcome to the Innovative Strategies for Teaching Reading Comprehension and Understanding, or for promoting reading comprehension and understanding. So excited to be part of this day. There's great learning happening. I love that it's an Edcamp-style day, and so you can come in and out of the different sessions. Hopefully everyone knows about the Google Doc where information, whoops, everything is gone. All right, somebody just deleted everything. So can somebody restore it to a previous version? Oh, good, thank you. So everything is here, or maybe that was just my computer is very slow. So you can add notes here in the Google Doc. You can share this resource with your colleagues if they're not able to be here. I see there's 52 people participating, fantastic. There's also a chat that you can add questions, and I will try to monitor the chat. Let me just open it up on the side here. And anyway, this is the link to the bit.ly, to the slide presentation itself. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am an assistive technology consultant. I am the president of a private practice here in Reading, Massachusetts. I love that I live in Reading, and very often my presentations have to do with reading technology, which is really great. I am passionate about helping individuals bypass challenges and gain independence through the use of technology. Could everybody mute themselves, please? I do hear somebody. You can just keep yourself muted for this, and then add any questions that you'd like to the chat. Thanks, Tiffany, for adding the link there as well. So a little bit about me, really excited to get into this. First of all, what are the foundation? I just want to very quickly discuss the foundational reading comprehension skills. And decoding and fluency, absolutely. That isn't something that we'll be addressing today. That is something that is addressed through reading remediation. If students do not have intact decoding, automaticity, and fluency, they really need to have reading remediation occurring simultaneously at the same time, meaning that we cannot do these tools and strategies in isolation of reading remediation. We want to combine the two. It's also very important to build background knowledge and have an extensive vocabulary. We also need to be able to understand sentence construction, how ideas fit together. So an understanding of that whole process, sentence construction, paragraph construction. And finally, we need some executive function skills, working memory and attention. So there's a lot of simultaneous neurological processes happening to ensure understanding of content that we're reading. So let's see how we can bypass some of these challenges and help our students to be more successful. So I love this Dr. Seuss quote. I mean, that's the whole point. The more that you read, the more you will know. The more that you learn, the more places you'll go. We want our students to be transported through their reading and to love to read. I always say this, my own son, when he graduated from high school, he was dyslexic and he said, I will never read another book. And my hope is that no other student ever graduates from high school saying that. Fortunately, now he's almost 30. He reads extensively through ear reading using YouTube videos and audiobooks and all other kinds of things. But needless to say, school was very difficult for him. So the first resource I would like to highlight, because we're going to dive a little bit deeper into each one, and we only have 25 minutes, which is a very quick amount of time. So the first two resources, in fact, are used to build vocabulary and background knowledge. Very often, if a student needs to be able to make a connection between what they're understanding, what they already know, and apply it to what they are now reading. If you, I remember there was a high stakes testing question in Massachusetts, they're called the MCAS, and it had to do with Where would you want to go on your, on your favorite vacation? Well, that assumes that everyone has gone on a vacation and has gone outside of their state or outside of their country or outside of, to another place in the world. We have to ensure that our students have a strong background knowledge and have something to really rest on and build from. So the first tool I would like to look at is a tool called ReadWorks. And if you're following along, or if you want to follow along after the presentation, each one of these images will take you directly to that particular website. And I already have the website opened up so that I do not need to, I don't need to log in. But this is what it looks like. And readworks.org. Once you're logged in, because you'll need to log in as a teacher or a student, but you can see all of the tools that I'm showing you. This one is completely free. Actually, they're all free. One of them has a premium version as well. But one of the things that you'll notice about ReadWorks is it has all different types of text. It has reading passages. It has article a day sets. It has curriculum supports. It has differentiation. You can look for content by grade level. You can look for content by curriculum area. So what I want to make sure that you see, actually we can, let's pull up grade 5, and we'll pull up all topics in grade 5, just so you can get a sense of what kind of resources are available. So you can further refine it by content, but here it shows you lexile level, how many words, whether it's fiction or nonfiction. The other thing too is it does include question sets, and it does also include a teacher dashboard. You can assign things to students. You can see their progress. So it does data collection for you, and it does it in a graphical representation. What I really want you to know about, if you're new to ReadWorks, is this article a day sets. These were designed to help build background knowledge for students. And somebody, I do hear somebody's audio microphone. If you could just make sure that it's turned off. Thank you. So here I'm still in grade 5. So now I have all of the article a day sets to build background knowledge for 5th graders. And it was designed as a 10-minute a day class routine that students could just access here. Oh, go on early morning when you first come into school, go on to our article a day in ReadWorks. And the idea is that it did build, this is awesome because it builds background knowledge, vocabulary, and stamina. Because again, stamina is one of the issues for our kids. If you give them a lengthy article and they're just overwhelmed, but these were designed to help build student stamina because they're short articles that are quite extensive in building vocabulary and background knowledge. So I do want to make sure that you know about ReadWorks and the article a day feature. Another feature that it has is paired text, and this can also help with understanding. So for example, they group together articles around different content areas. Another area, another thing that that's actually in Common Lit, but there is a great deal of options. There are many options in all kinds of reading passages available to help build background knowledge and vocabulary. If I click on one, I do want you to see this feature as well. See this? It does have an audio feature. So if a student has difficulty independently reading this, they can also listen to the article read to them. It also here is where the vocabulary can be highlighted, and so it can get them started so that the difficult vocabulary that they will be encountering within the article itself will be highlighted initially. And then finally, it does include the question sets. And just so you can get a sense of what the comprehension questions are. that are within that particular article. So it's already built all in for you. And that is a very quick exploration of ReadWorks and why I recommend that as an innovative option to help build background knowledge and vocabulary. The next one that I'd like to show you is Common Lit. Common Lit is also a free resource. It is very similar to ReadWorks. It does help build vocabulary and background knowledge. It doesn't have that article a day set, but it does have another feature that that I'd like to show you. So again, we can click right on this. It'll take us to Common Lit. I will just click on, I already have it open. You can assign classes here. I don't have any classes in this, but you can again see what the student performance is. You can manage your classes. But what I want to do is I want to browse the library. And again, this one is developed, it's for 3rd through 12th grade. There are no kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade text sets, just so you know. But you can also explore you can filter it by Lexile level, by grade level, by genre, related books. What I want you to see here is they have book pairings. And so you can connect different books and help build background knowledge that way. The other thing I want you to see is the text sets. And again, they combine different genres to help build background knowledge around particular content areas that you are exploring. So again, this is completely free. One of the features that I do want you to see too is this is helpful too. You can explore by literary devices. You can explore by text level, text set, theme. So if you want to explore a growing up theme, here are some of the resources that you have available. Choose a discussion question. So there's lots of options within Common Lit as well. And I am going to go back to the library. Is anyone already Common Lit or ReadWorks? This is great too. They've added some Spanish text and they're highlighting that this is new. If you are, I'm curious to hear if anyone is already using Common Lit. I often recommend it in my assistive technology assessments as a way to help support those students who are struggling learners. So let's go back, and the final resource that I would like to explore with you, and we will spend more time on this particular one because this is such a valuable resource. Many of our students have working memory issues, or in addition to the vocabulary and the poor background knowledge, they also have attention issues. And so there is a phenomenal resource called Actively Learn that I want to make sure that you know about, and I will explore some of those features. Let's see. Somebody used ReadWorks and used it as background connection. Awesome. ReadWorks when teaching special ed self-contained classes. Excellent. So yep, ELA teacher. So you are all using it. Excellent. Is anyone using Actively Learn? I'd be really interested to see if anyone has already explored that resource. So I am going to take you to Actively Learn, and I do need to log in. So one of the things to understand about Actively Learn is it is free, but it also has some expensive premium features. What I am going to show you today is just the free version of Actively Learn, and you will be absolutely amazed by what is possible. So again, I have been using it. I share it with teachers. I have used it when I've taught my grad courses. And so I'm logged in. So first of all, let me explain what Actively Learn is. Very often we assign articles to students and we have them read them. And then they'll be reading along, and then we'll say, go back in the text and find the details, find the supporting details to the comprehension questions. So we always ask them to look back in the text for information. For some of our kids who are struggling readers, making them go back in the text is torture because they've already read it once, and wasn't that enough? That was hard enough to do. What's awesome about Actively Learn is you can embed the questions throughout the article. You can give guiding questions right at the beginning. You can highlight vocabulary. You can actively teach active reading strategies in the article itself. It is really phenomenal. So those kids with attention and working memory issues, they don't have to hold on to that information. So let me show you how Actively Learn works. I have there's actually, here I'm automatically defaulted to looking at content. So here I can search by grade levels, I can search by Lexile levels, I can search by standards, I can search by curriculum units, genres, themes, news and articles, my imports. I can also bring in my own articles. So let's say you've read something that's really great in Common Lit, but you don't really like the questions, or you've read something really great in ReadWorks. So you can import that article and bring it into Actively Learn. I'm going to show you my workspace. So anything that I have ever opened up and hit customize for, it will automatically save to my workspace. So over the years, I have saved anything that I have ever saved is here. So you can see I've saved many different articles. This one I just added today. So this one is called The Storm. It's a short story. And what I did is I did nothing other than save it to customize it. So already here, somebody else, the Actively Learn staff, has added a guiding question. So as you read, ask yourself, what are the consequences of selfishness? Before they even assign or even show the article, here's an assignment prompting question. Again, before they've even assigned the reading, even asked students to start reading, they've inserted a poll. Have you ever made a decision that you knew was completely selfish? So again, getting kids thinking, getting them into the mindset. And then here is the article itself. Here's the short story itself. Now what I'll show you, it automatically changed. I didn't add anything here. It automatically added my name as the teacher to any comment on the side here. So they have highlighted this. And now if I click on it, this indicates that the father enjoys spending time with his son. So again, they're helping students to better understand the context. There are prompts embedded throughout the short story itself. You can delete those. So one of those, maybe you don't want to provide that much scaffolded support. So I can go into these three dots, I can edit it, or I can delete it. So again, you can differentiate. Maybe different students have different needs and need more scaffolded supports. So you can customize and differentiate depending on who your students are. So this one, somber clouds. So it shows me the clouds are threatening. So again, I haven't, but it makes it look like I've added some scaffolded supports here. So you're reading along, your student is reading, and then now here is an embedded question. So it is, and then see, this is the teacher view, so it does show what the answer is, and it does give an explanation if you need it. But the students, of course, wouldn't see this. They would just see this embedded question. So again, they're reading on. Here's another embedded question. So you're helping them engage with the content by having them pause, ponder, think about what the question says, and answer the embedded question. So the question here, somebody wrote, so you didn't create the embedded questions, the site did? Yes. But I can change those. I can customize them. I can delete them. Isn't it, Kiara, isn't that amazing that I didn't even have to create them? But let me show you what it does look like. Yes, yes, Maureen, great to see you here. Do students access the articles from Actively Learn on this site, or can you share it with them on a different platform? No, how do you assign text for each student? Okay, good, you're getting excited about this. One of the things, and actually there's many more features that I do want to show you, but one of the things is when you first set up your class, and let me get out of here, I'll go back to my, I'll go back to the home screen. And here, see this here? Here are a number of classes where I have used Actively Learn, because I always want to model. I love this tool. I always want to model using it with my grad students. So all you have to do is see this, add a new class. So I'm going to click on add new class. And one of the things you'll notice here is it says import courses from Google Classroom. So you can sync it. It works with Google Classroom. You can name it, add the class, and just import them with from Google Classroom. Then your students will easily be able to access within this platform, because it does need to stay within this platform. You can assign things through Google Classroom, and it works really well. I do also want you to see the content. So that was my workspace. I want you to see the content that's available. So, so here, I mean, they keep adding new things. President Obama just created this this message, I think, over the weekend, and they've already added this in as a video assignment, and they've added an essential question. What suggestion from the speech do you connect with the most? They've also added some high interest articles. Why is there too much milk and not enough toilet paper? So let's click on this one, because this is a very timely one. And again, you can see, can you make your own embedded questions? Yes, absolutely. But this is, I mean, Actively Learn wants us to be successful, and they don't want us to reinvent the wheel. Here, they're giving you some embedded ideas for teaching this text. You can delete them, you can ignore them, whatever you want. But here, they are giving you some context and to help you better teach this particular article. And it shows you where the original article came from. Again, here's an assignment direction. Here's some extra help text summary. Here's a leading poll. So again, so much scaffolded support to really help our students be successful. We can, now one of the things too that I want you to know about is, here, let me pull it up here. The students, see, you have this, we can also adapt the visual presentation. So here are text settings. So we can have the text size larger or smaller. And again, the students can customize it on their side. We can also increase the spacing. Sometimes just changing color background and spacing can make all the difference in the world for our students. We also do have a few font choices. I'm just going to reference that Open Dyslexic is one of them, and it is not necessarily helpful for every student. It's really important to state this. So again, now to add a question, I would just because I can't believe it's already 11:24 and we end in 1 minute. So just to add a question, you just highlight the text and, oh, I'm not in edit view. So this is, oh, let me just get out of here. What you would do is here, I'll open this one, and for some reason, okay, I have to hit customize right here. And once I hit customize, that gives me the option now to highlight text. And I do want you to see this before you have to run. So I would highlight text here. See how it changed my setting, and every article that I opened up now looks that same way with that spacing. So see, once I highlight text, I can insert a question, insert a note, insert link, and the other option is to white out text. So again, if you want to scaffold your articles, and maybe some of your students where there's stamina for a lengthy article hasn't been built up, you out sections of the content, which is really phenomenal. So it is already time to finish, which, boy, that time passed really quickly. That was Actively Learn. And if you do have questions, because that time passed so quickly, feel free to email me. This is awesome, great. Oh, good, I'm so glad. I did want to spend a lot of time, especially on Actively Learn, because it is such a powerful tool. The premium features of it, well, one of the things to understand is you can bring in your own articles, and you can bring in up to 3 articles a month for free. So that's 36 articles in a year. So like today's what, May 20th? So add your 3 for May. Then June 1st, you get 3 more. So that's 6 articles in 10 days. So once you've added them, they are always available. So thank you all for joining. Enjoy the rest of the learning that you'll experience today. And I hope that you found this helpful and informative. Thank you all.